Hi, my name's Tammy. I'm an employee of the Salt Lake County. I work for the library and I am at the Whitmore branch. I'm also a certified yoga instructor, so I'm excited that you are here for a yoga class today. So a couple thoughts. A mat is nice to have, just helps give you a nice kind of sticky surface so it's not slippery. A couple of yoga blocks are always helpful. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can just use a blanket or maybe a firm pillow. And then a yoga strap is helpful. It just kind of makes like our toes more accessible. If we're trying to touch our toes and we can't, we can use a strap. If you don't have a strap, you can use a towel or a belt or a dog leash. Lots of things work the same. So I thought today we'd just do all pretty much poses down on our mat. We won't really come up to standing much. So let's go ahead and get started in a wide-legged seated fold. So come so you're sitting kind of facing the long edge of your mat and open up your legs. It's nice to be able to put your feet on a mat so you have a little bit of cushioning underneath. If you find that you are tipping back, let me turn so you can see. So if you find that your pelvis is tipping back, then sit up on a block. So let me show you really quick. If you sit on the very, very edge of the block, you'll see I'm not back, I'm just on the edge. And then you can kind of help to get your hips to tip forward. Okay, so I'm going to turn back the other way. So experiment with that. You could sit on a pillow or a blanket to help you tip your legs forward. And then just go as wide as you can. Stay for a moment, and this is just going to kind of be our warm-up pose. So we'll just kind of hang out here. Go ahead and come to your breath. Some breathing. Make sure toes are pointed up. Engage your low belly. Just see if you can find a little bit of stillness here in this pose. If your hips do tip back, it might be uncomfortable. So your first step is to work on being able to get those hips tipping forward. So some of that will come with time and flexibility. If you brought an intention to class, you're welcome to bring that to the forefront of your mind now. If not, I might just offer today to breathe. Come back into your body, focus on your breath. Try to slow your breathing, deepen your breath, come all the way into your belly when you breathe, not just shallow in your chest. If you want, kind of reach over to one side, just a real gentle stretch. You can come up and go to the other side. And then I'm just going to alternate kind of back and forth. I can feel this stretch along the back of my leg and then on the opposite hip. I'm going to turn my left shoulder so I'm starting to square my chest down to the floor. And then I'm just going to kind of go back and forth a little bit, just kind of feeling that opening up. I really don't, come to a wide-legged fold often in my regular day, so I really like this stretch. I'm going to switch again, see if I can go a little bit deeper. So I had cancer a number of years ago, and I no longer have a thyroid. Turns out thyroids are very important. I'm going to switch again. So I would say probably 95% of the time I feel okay and do all right, but sometimes it just gets away from me, and I haven't been feeling good the past couple of days. Just kind of zaps my energy, like my energy level dips low, I think, when the medication isn't spot on. So today we get get a nice slow class with just stretching down on the mat. See if you can lean forward a little bit. Maybe you walk your hands forward. If this is really uncomfortable for you, maybe you're just working on sitting up tall and having those hips tip forward. You don't have to go forward at all. You don't have to fold at all. Just come to whatever depth is your depth, and then that's where you're supposed to be. That's good. Sometimes in the evening, I'll just sit in this position for a good 15 or 20 minutes. It just feels really good to me. Okay, we're going to stretch one more time, but this time we're going to bring your right arm to the inside of your right leg. Circle sweep your left arm up and over your head. So bicep is by ears, and you're going to send that left hand towards your right toes. So maybe this is as far as you go. Maybe you can go all the way down to your toes. But just reaching in that direction is great. And then stay and breathe. All right, inhale up. Let's do the other side. So left arm comes to the inside of your left leg. Right arm goes over your head, and your right hand is reaching towards your left toes. Maybe it just reaches in that direction. Maybe you can come all the way down. All right, when you're ready, come on up. So I would be happy to stay here for a good 20 more minutes, but I don't know that you are. So let's move on and do some other stretches. Kind of keep your strap handy. And let's just shimmy a little bit so you're sitting nice and tall. Engage your core. Toes are pointed up. Inhale, arms up and overhead. And exhale, forward, fold down to your toes. So this is a great time for your strap or your towel if you can't reach your toes. You're just going to wrap it around your feet, and now you've got something to hold on to. If you don't need a strap for this one, perfectly fine. If you move your hands down to your heels, then you'll feel the stretch in your low back. So it feels significantly different. So maybe try that. Try how it feels here, holding on to the balls of your feet, and then try holding on to your heels. See what you like. And let's stay here for a few rounds of breath. See if you can do really long, deep belly breaths. All right, if you'd like on that next inhale, see if you can straighten your spine a little bit. And then on your next exhale, can you fold a tiny bit deeper? On an inhale, let's start to sit up. All right, we're going to take the sole of, we're going to take our right foot and flip it back behind us. So I'm going to do my right foot, but I'll show you with my left. So it looks like this. So our heel is sitting back on the outside of our hip. Let me switch those. So I'm doing my right foot first. All right. So inhale, arms up and overhead, and exhale, forward fold. You probably won't be able to go as deep. In fact, you might need your strap in this position where you didn't in our stretch previously. So yogis like to do lots of different breathing techniques. And there's one called Ujjayi breath. And you do it in the back of your throat. And it sounds a little bit like Darth Vader. So you still breathe in and out your nose, but you kind of open the back of your throat like you would if you were going to fog up a mirror. So it sounds kind of like this. So you're welcome to utilize that breath and give it a try if you want during class today. It just kind of helps me go nice and deep with my breathing. All right, inhaling up. It's also the way I open the back of my throat when I try to swallow a pill. So that's kind of the technique. All right, we're gonna take this right leg. Let's swing it around. We're gonna bring the sole of our foot to the inside of our thigh so our knee falls open. Inhale, arms up overhead, and exhale, forward fold. I can come much deeper in this pose than when I had my heel flipped back around. Inhale, let's come up. We're going to place our right hand back behind our right hip. We're going to come to wild child. So our left leg's going to be straight. We're going to point our toes. We'll keep our right knee, right shin, right foot on the mat. So it's like a supported back bend. So on an inhale, lift your hips up. Your arm goes back and behind you and gaze to follow. Point your left toes. And then exhale, back down. Nice. All right, both legs back out in front of you. Let's just do a quick forward fold here. One round of breath. Sitting up. Let's do the other side. So fold your left leg back behind you. Put your heel by your hip. You can line up your knees, but if that hurts, you can always open them. So be real gentle with your knees. I really don't have knee trouble. But if you do, be really gentle and be careful. So inhale, arms up overhead, and exhale, forward fold. I really can't go very deep when I've got my leg folded back. And if you find this does hurt your knees, come out of it. And maybe just put both legs out straight in front of you and do that fold again. Inhale, come up. Let's switch, bring that around. The sole of your left foot comes to the inside of your thigh. Readjust. Inhale, arms up and overhead, and exhale, fold down. You can try that Ujjayi breath if you like. Sometimes yogis get really excited about it, and you can hear them breathing all the way across the yoga room. I'm not usually quite that loud, but I still like the feel of the breath in the back of my throat. On an inhale, coming up, and we'll do wild child on this side. So plant your left hand back behind your left hip. Our right leg's going to be straight, pointing our toes, but then remember we're going to keep our left knee, shin, and foot on the mat so it's really nice and supported. So on an inhale, let's lift up. Right hand goes back behind, gaze to follow. So it's a nice supported back bend. And then exhale, back down. Nice. All right, both legs back out in front. Kind of reset. Let's fold back down for one more breath. And inhaling up. All right, we're going to keep going here. Now we're going to take the sole of our right foot, place it on the mat, hug our right leg in. We're going to take our right hand and we're going to kind of swim it in front and then wrap it back behind our right shin. So I think I'm going to turn and have my back to you for just a moment. So I've swung this hand and now it's headed back behind me. I'm going to take my left hand and reach for my right hand. If your fingers don't touch, this is another great place for a strap. So kind of walk it over and then you can hold on to a strap behind your back and you still got that connection. All right, I'm going to switch back. And we call it a bind in yoga, when you bind your arms up. Okay, so I've got my bind back behind me, and then I'm going to fold forward. not go very far forward in this pose, but I'm still feeling that stretch. I feel it in my low back. Where do you feel it? All right, inhale up, release your bind. I'm going to take our right foot and cross it over our left thigh. Take your left hand and hug that knee. Right arm circle sweeps up, back, and behind. It can come all the way down to the mat, kind of like a kickstand. Just tint your fingers. You're going to look over your right shoulder. Check your left toes though. You want to keep them up nice and straight. And then we have a nice spinal twist here. All right, let's start to rewind. If you like, circle sweep that right arm up and over. Get some nice movement in your shoulder socket. Okay, let's straighten out, and we'll do the other side. So, the sole of your left foot comes to the floor. You're gonna hug that left leg in. I'm gonna take my left hand to the inside, swim it around my shin, and bend it so it's headed back towards my hips. Then my right hand goes back behind me, and I want to try to make contact. Again, if you can't make contact, get the strap over there, and then you can hold on to your strap to be able to make that connection. And again, we just call it a bind. We've got to bind with our arms. See if you can get your right leg straight, and then we're going to fold forward. And this one's just really awkward. So you feel a compression in your hip of the bent leg. And then you feel some stuff in your shoulder blades because we've got our bind going on. And then I'm trying to fold forward. All right, on an inhale, come up. Maybe you're not coming up far because you didn't go down far, like me. Okay, cross that left leg over. Keep the sole of the foot on the floor. Gonna hug with our right arm. I'm gonna circle sweep my left arm up, back, and behind. Tint your fingers down like a kickstand. If they don't touch, this would be a great time to use a block. Get your hands up higher. And if that doesn't work, then just kind of reach in that direction. Make sure your right toes are pointed up, and then you're going to look over your left shoulder and get a little spinal twist. All right, on an inhale, let's rewind. Oh, circle sweep. I think it feels nice on my shoulder. All right, both legs out. Wiggle a little bit. Inhale up, let's fall down. One more time, 3 rounds of breath here. You might be able to go a little bit deeper since we're kind of really getting warmed up nicely here. All right, inhale, back up. Let's come to reverse plank. So for reverse plank, going to plant your hands back behind your hips. Your fingers are going to point to your toes. On an inhale, we're going to lift up our hips, point our toes, try to make a nice straight line, and drop your head back. This is reverse plank. If it feels uncomfortable for you, come to reverse tabletop. So you're going to plant your feet and then lift your belly up, and you can drop your head. So this is reverse tabletop or reverse plank. And then lower down. All right, boat pose. For boat pose, we're going to tip back onto our tailbone. We want to engage our low belly, nice straight spine, and then we're going to lift our legs up. Maybe you can get toes to eye level. You can hold on to the back of your thighs if you'd like, or spread your arms wide with the palms up. The most important part about boat, though, is an engaged core and a straight spine. If you're feeling great today, you're welcome to straighten your legs. But if you start to lose your back, then just bring them back in again. So stay and breathe. All right, cross your legs, and then we're going to roll forward, plant our hands, and step back to high plank. So for high plank, we have our heels over our toes, shoulders stacked over our wrists. And just stay and breathe here for a moment. All right, come down to your knees, and let's lower all the way down to our belly. We'll come to cobra pose. So for cobra, keep the tops of your feet on the mat. Your legs are zipped up like a mermaid tail. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders, and then as you inhale, you'll lift your chest up. Most of the work is in your back. There's little to no weight in your hands. All right, lower down enough. You can move your arms and we'll come to Sphinx pose. So for Sphinx pose, bring your forearms to the mat. It's like your arms are making a number 11. Tops of your feet stay on the mat. Legs are still zipped up, nice and close to each other. Drop your shoulders, we aren't hunching down, so kind of lift your heart, lift your chest. A nice long neck. So this is a little bit of a back bend stretch. You want to be feeling it in your low back. No pain though, but just a nice stretch. And then stay and breathe. All right, we're going to get to pigeon pose. So the best way to get us to pigeon is to get to down dog. So you can start to get your toes tucked. We're going to come up on our hands and knees, tucking those toes, and then find down dog. So hips are nice and high. Kind of melt your chest towards your thighs. Spread your fingertips nice and wide. Maybe pedal your legs for a moment while we're here. All right, let's move to pigeon pose. So on an inhale, right leg rises, three-legged down dog, and exhale, pigeon. Your right knee touches the back of your right wrist. Drop down to your left knee, untuck your left toes, and I like to kind of walk that leg back so I get a nice extension away from my body. Then you can keep your right foot where it is, or if you've been working on yoga for quite a while, you're welcome to try to bring that right foot up, but there's no need. Find whatever works for you. I like to tap my fingers and do a little tiny back bend here, and then exhale, coming down to sleeping pigeon. So you can bring your forearms to a block all the way down to the mat. You can rest your head on a block, or bring it all the way down to your backs of your hand. Then come back to your deep breathing or your Ujjayi breath if you're working on that. And we're going to stay here for a little while. If there's any sharp pain, lift up. Lift your torso up. Don't stay so deep or even go so deep. If it's uncomfortable, that's okay. That's what happens in pigeon. Keep breathing. All right, 3 more rounds of breath on this side. When you're ready, come on up to your palms. Keep your right palm where it is. You're going to bend your left leg and reach back with your left hand. If you can't reach your foot, then just reach in that direction. That's okay. If you can reach your foot, then just start to gently pull it in towards your glute. And look back in that direction if it's okay on your neck. All right, gently release, and we're going to head to the other side. So plant both hands, tuck your left toes, lift your left knee up and off the mat so you can shoot your right leg back for a three-legged down dog. Maybe you could draw some circles or move that leg a little bit. All right, return to your down dog. And let's do the other side. So inhale, left leg up. Exhale, pigeon. Left knee touches the back of your left wrist. Drop your right knee, untuck your right toes. Maybe you walk it back. If you're working on your front leg, you can manually move your right foot up. Little back bend. And then exhaling down. Forearms come down to the mat or a block. Head can come to a block or the back of your hands. And then we'll stay on this side for a few moments. Notice that pigeon feels different on different sides of the body. And although in yoga we're always striving for balance, it is really common. It's going to feel different. Remember, if there's sharp pain, lift up. If it's just uncomfortable, that's okay. Pigeon often is. All right, 3 more rounds of breath. All right, after your third exhale, let's come up to our hands. I bring this back foot in a little bit. Okay, left hand stays down. I'm going to bend my right foot, reach back with my right hand, reach in that direction, or if you can grab your foot, great. I pause for a beat and then I start to pull it in. Don't hurt yourself. Find your edge of the stretch. You want to feel that stretch on the front of your right leg, but no pain. And gently release. Okay, we're going to head back to our down dog. So tuck your right toes, lift your right knee up, shoot your left leg back, and draw some circles or move it around, whatever feels good. All right, come down to your down dog. Drop down to your knees to tabletop position. And we're just going to flip over and get onto our back. So drop your hips over to one side, legs there. If you have a block or a blanket, kind of get that where you're going to be able to reach it. And then gently lower yourself down all the way to your back. Once you're on your back, plant your soles of the feet on the mat. Knees are up. We're going to come to a supported bridge pose. So grab a hold of that block. On an inhale, lift up to bridge. Hips go up. Then slide your block underneath and just rest your low back, your sacrum, on the block. If you have a block, it's got 3 different levels, so you can find what feels good for you today. Shimmy your shoulders underneath your back so your chest is kind of puffing up towards your chin. And then arms down at your side, but take up plenty of space and palms are up. And let's just stay here for a moment. If you feel like you're pretty warmed up today and want to turn this into even more of a back bend, you can let your legs go out straight and let your toes fall open. If you find this is uncomfortable, like on your belly or your back, then just bring your feet back, plant them back on the mat, let your knees go up. Let's stay here for a few rounds of breath. Hopefully that feels nice and relaxing. It feels good to me today. All right, plant your feet. Let's lift your belly up and remove the lock. Nice, and then hug your legs up into your chest. Hold on to your shins right below your knees. Kind of hug your thighs in and then gently rock from side to side. You can massage out your low back here. Okay, keep a hold of your right leg, but let your left leg go out nice and long and lay down on the mat. If you've got your strap or your towel, let's place it along the ball of your right foot. Then we're going to lift our right leg up. If you can hold on to your feet or your foot, that's great, but a strap is fine as well. And just hold it here for a moment. You can gently pull your foot closer to your head. Feel a nice stretch on the back of your right leg. All right, switch your strap so it's only in your right hand and let your leg fall open to the right. Maybe it comes all the way down to the floor. Maybe it just hovers in space. But hold on to that strap. And again, you're gently going to try to pull that leg kind of up towards your head. All right, on an inhale, bring your leg back up through center. And we're going to switch hands. So now your left hand is going to hold on to the strap. Let your right arm go out to a T. Your palm can be facing up. And then you're going to cross your left leg over your body. And you can start to stack your hips and get a spinal twist. And again, maybe your foot comes down to the mat. Maybe it hovers in space. And then gaze the opposite direction. Welcome to close your eyes and just feel that connection in your body. Bring your focus inward and feel all the places that your body is stretching. All right, as you inhale, gently bring that leg up. All right, release the strap, but keep it close. Hug both legs in. Kind of reset. Rock from side to side. All right, let's do the other side. So keep a hold of your left leg, but let your right leg go out straight. Okay, find your strap. Place it around the ball of your left foot. I like to hold on to my strap with both hands when I'm here. And then I'm just going to gently pull my leg towards my body. Come to whatever depth you're at, wherever you are is great. You can have your knees bent a little bit if you want, or straighten, whatever you want. You just want to be feeling a stretch. My lifetime flexibility goal is to get this foot all the way up by my head. I see people do that sometimes. That would be lovely. I think that's years and years away. I really didn't do dance or gymnastics as a kiddo, and I think that kind of makes a difference. I think some of those people that can have been working on their flexibility their whole life. But we can dream, right? All right, hold on to that strap in your left hand. Let your leg fall open to the left. Maybe it reaches the ground, maybe it just hovers in space. Mine does not reach the ground on this side. Then right arm out. You can gaze to the right or up or wherever feels good. So you're feeling this stretch. I actually feel it a couple of places. So I feel it on the inside of my left thigh. If you're clenching up because you're worried, see if you can relax. And then I even feel it here along the outside of my right leg and down my thigh. It's interesting, right? That even this, what I would think of as my resting leg, I feel the stretch pretty intensely right there. All right, let's switch. So bring that leg up. We're going to switch hands. So we've got our right hand now. And we're going to let our leg roll across our body. Let your hips stack. You're rolling a little bit onto your right side body. And then see if you can take your left hand back behind you, gaze to follow. So you're getting a spinal twist. So my left shoulder is not all the way down on the mat. It's lifting up so that I can stack my hips. And you can pull a little bit if you want to try to get this leg up closer, or just wherever you're feeling happy with this stretch. Let's gently bring it back up. All right, you can release your strap, set it off to the side. Hug those legs in one more time. If you want to come to a yogi ball to kind of finish up. For a yogi ball, you try to wrap your arms around your shin. Reach for opposite elbows or even forearms, and then get your chin or your forehead to your knees. Hug everything in really tight. And then relax. Back down again. So let your legs go out nice and wide. Let your toes fall open. Hands, arms down at your side, but take up space, palms up. So this is Shavasana, and you are welcome to stay. Yogis encourage Shavasana time at the end of a practice to kind of let everything settle. It's even a good time to meditate. So you're welcome to hit pause and stay here for as long as you would like. Or if you're good, we can kind of head on out. So bring your legs back up, kind of roll forward. You can come to easy seat. Adjust as you would like. Hands to heart center. Again, my name is Tammy. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.